for joining me on this Mindful Money journey. I'm Ilana. I'm the founder of Mindful Money Coaching. And I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit about me and how I got into this Mindful Money coaching and created this course so that it can help people like yourself to unlock and discover more about themselves and their money and how to live a more prosperous life. I grew up in South Africa with a mum that was widowed at a very young age and having to look after 5 children. I grew up with something that is known as scarcity mentality, which comes from poverty. I grew up with always comparing myself to the other children, knowing that I was different because I never had the same as them. My mum worked quite a few jobs to make ends meet, to look after us. And I vowed subconsciously that when I had children one day, my kids were going to have a different reality. My children were not going to go through what I'd gone through growing up. I used to go to birthday parties and my mum often couldn't afford to buy me a gift to take to the child whose party it was. And there were lots of things along the way through my life where I knew that we were going without. I had to wear my brother's hand-me-downs. I didn't have a choice. And I wanted a very different reality for my children. So when my children came along, they had everything from designer toys to designer clothes to private schools to the expensive birthday parties. And I was just giving so much to them. I did not realize why I was doing this. I'd subconsciously made the decision possibly when I was younger, but I didn't understand why I was doing it. What happened was that it caused a lot of financial burden and a lot of financial stress on my husband and I. I managed to get all the credit cards full. I kept spending. Often when the credit card statement would arrive, my husband would tell me that the amount on top of the card is it's not a target, it's a limit, and then I must stop trying to go for the target. Obviously, this caused a lot of fights and a lot of upset. But I didn't know how to do anything differently. I did not grow up understanding about money, understanding about budgets, about what we actually need, and knowing that there's enough, and knowing that my children had more than enough. And I was actually introduced to money coaching by a friend who told me that I should actually go and get help. I went after doing the money quiz. I realized that what was driving my behavior was all issues from my past, and I decided to embark on this. And then eventually became a money coach. I have helped lots of women change their money reality as well as my own money reality. And this is what this course is going to embark on and help you to do the same. What I'd like to do first is to ask you, if you haven't done it already, is to take the Mindful Money quiz. The quiz will give you an idea of exactly what archetypes are driving your behavior, which ones are passive and which ones are active. The next thing I'd ask you to do is to go into my calendar and to book an appointment with me. And I will chat through in a discovery call with you where I will chat through and find out and explain to you exactly what your archetypes are telling you, what behaviors are very active, which ones you would like to change, and what goals do you have? Where are you planning? What are you wanting for your life? What are you wanting for your finances? I do this through the archetypes, by understanding the archetypes. And I'll just run through quickly the 8 different archetypes and how they show up in your life. I will explain also how they showed up in my life. The 8 different archetypes were discovered by Carl Jung, who was a Swiss philosopher and psychiatrist, and there's still a Carl Jung Institute in Switzerland. So the first archetype I want to talk to you about is the hero or the warrior. I call it the hero. The hero archetype is very business orientated. She understands business. She knows how to get the job done. And when I say about a two-edged sword, the positives is that she's very generous, she's very wise, she's fluid, she understands how to make business. But on the other side, she doesn't understand how to delegate. She tries to do everything herself. She's a people pleaser. And what happens is that often ladies that come to me with this particular archetype have burnout or are about to have burnout because they're doing everything themselves. Sometimes their business isn't growing because they're trying to do everything themselves, but they're just not good at IT, or they're just not good at the creative side. So something is stopping them from moving their business forward. And often these ladies need to realize that they cannot do everything themselves. They need to delegate. They need to self-care, because that's very important when you're running your own business. The next archetype that shows up a lot is the creative artist. The creative artist is a really beautiful archetype. She's often very spiritual. Often the artist or the lady who's into more nature. The archetype, this particular archetype, finds it very difficult to live in the material world with where she is. She's very nearly in her own world, where she's creating this beautiful work, beautiful artwork, but she doesn't charge anybody for it. She doesn't understand her worth. She doesn't understand how you can charge people for doing something when it comes so naturally to her. So the creative artist often suffers with not being able to charge people for her worth, for her value. The next archetype, and as I said, I will explain some of these, of which ones I was, is the ruler. This was the biggest shock for me, that I was the ruler. So there I was, buying the expensive materialistic things for my children, comparing myself to other people, how they had more than me, why did they have more than me? I was angry. I was very angry when it came to money. Why was I in this situation? Why couldn't I have what everybody else had? The ruler often has got issues with comparing, not feeling good enough. A lot of these archetypes, or most of these archetypes, have got issues with not feeling good enough. But the ruler especially, she's often feeling everything is about materialism. And often what she's wanting more than anything in life is an emotional connection, because you cannot buy love. And I was looking for love. I was looking for something that money couldn't buy, and therefore I kept spending and spending and spending. The next one is the innocent. I was this one as well, and I find that most of the ladies that I've worked with are also the innocent. The innocent is very much a head in the sand. I think of her as an ostrich with a head in the sand. She doesn't know what's in her bank account, has got no idea how much money she actually makes, how much comes in, how much goes out, doesn't know about spending, about keeping budgets. She doesn't know about saving. The innocent feels very hopeless, very helpless. And the innocent is waiting for somebody to do it for her. But nobody's going to do it for you. The next archetype is the fool, the maverick. The maverick is looking for a shortfall, or looking to gamble and taking a lot of risks when it comes to money. The maverick always thinks everything is very optimistic with the maverick, and the maverick, the glass is always it's not half full, it's overflowing. They don't plan for the future. They're very much thinking in the now. They live in the now. And yes, it is good to live in the now. I do believe in living in the now and not living in the past or stressing about the future. But you do need to plan. You do need to have something going on for the future. If it's your children, or for your pension, or for your kids' studies or property, you do need to plan things. And with the maverick, she doesn't plan. She doesn't understand. She doesn't set goals. She doesn't realize that saving or putting away money or putting it into a pension or whatever it is actually something for her future. She sees it as a sacrifice. Another archetype that comes up a lot, and I also had some of this in me, is the victim. The word says it all, exactly what it's about. The victim feels cheated. The victim feels that she's been done in. She's long suffering. She's angry. She's sad. She's holding on to old dramas, because sometimes the old dramas is more comfortable than something new or being adventurous or trying something different. I always say, if you try, and it's a quote from Einstein, if you try the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same results. You're not going to get different results. The victim very much is upset with what has happened. Often there's been a big loss. She could have gone through a divorce. She could have gone through where her husband has gambled their money away, or they've made silly, or I don't want to say silly, but bad decisions when it's come to investment. So there's a lot of victim, and the victim, it's a mentality that needs to change. We work on all these different archetypes through the course, and I will explain more of that as I go on. The next one is the magician. Everybody wants to be the magician. The magician sees opportunities that other people don't see. The magician creates a reality by taking these opportunities and turning them into gold. I had a client that once did her quiz and came to me and said to me, Ilana, help me to become a magician. I want more money in my life. I want to be able to do things with the money. And often we've been told negative things when it comes to money. We've been told that money is evil or money is dirty, and we'll go through that in one of the modules that I do. But money can actually give you a lot of peace of mind. You can know that your rent can be paid every month, or your mortgage, or you can buy food. There's enough that you can help other people. You can help children who don't have money to go and study. There's so much you can do with money. Money is positive. It's a really, really positive energy. So the magician knows how to create this. The next archetype is the martyr. The martyr, as I call her, is the mother of all archetypes. She's helping everybody. She's saving the world. The martyr doesn't think about herself. With the martyr, either she doesn't understand her worth, or she just feels that she doesn't deserve. So she doesn't know how to charge for whatever it is that she does for a living. The martyr often is trying to save everybody else, that she gets lost in the process. So this is a very short summary of the different archetypes. I'd love you to partake in this course, to come on this journey with me, that you can discover so much more. One of the things I'd love to ask you to do is to get a gratitude diary, because that's going to be one of the first things that we're going to work on every single day for the rest of your life, that I'm hoping to set up a habit that becomes part of your life, is to think of things that you can write in your gratitude diary, and you can do that already now. Things that make you happy, things that make you grateful, things that you love. Write them down in your gratitude diary, because when you are grateful, you will find more things to be grateful for. You will just have more positivity in your life, more abundance. If you don't want to get a gratitude diary, there's gratitude apps on your phone. So you could get one of the apps and use that to actually put in every day. Some people prefer to do it at night, where they write down 5 things or 10 things or whatever many things you want, gratitudes, into their phone or into their diary. They do it at night so that they sleep better, that when they sleep, their subconscious mind is thinking about these wonderful things that they're grateful for. Some people prefer to do it in the morning. I actually do both. But it's become a habit after many years of doing it. Once you've joined the course, and once you partake in the course, we have an accountability group which goes every Monday morning. Most of my clients tell me that they love on a Monday morning getting together in a group where we encourage one another, we support one another, we set our intentions, we say what we're working on for the week, that we can support each other. In the group, find ladies, because the women that I'm working with are all over the globe. I find ladies because I know the stories behind each person. I find ladies that I think would be a good match, and I link you up with them. I ask you if you want to be accountability buddy with this particular person, and often there's a lot of similarities which you both have, and you can help each other in each other's business. So in the accountability group, which we have on a Monday morning, there's a lot of positivity. I also each week will share a different topic. So there's still, after you finish the course and during the course, you have contact with me. I want to wish you all the very best and thank you for partaking in this wonderful journey with me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.